A childhood friend of mine is Nathan Robinson, who is pictured here in front of me when we were in the 3rd grade. We would go to the same school through graduation, often riding the bus or carpooling since he lived in the next neighborhood over. Since then, Nathan has graduated from Yale Law and is about to finish a PhD from Harvard, and yet maybe most notably started a magazine called Current Affairs in 2015 that reached national prominence despite its highly specialized content geared toward the socialist movement. Politically, the magazine falls somewhere to the left of Senator Bernie Sanders, and metaphorically isn't even in the same reality of how I perceive the world. Current Affairs had a public controversy unfold this week as staff revolted to changes in structure and an attempt to block a move toward a co-op style of ownership, which has left the future of the magazine uncertain and caught Nathan in a tough place. Conservative media is using it as a microcosm of why socialism always inevitably fails, and progressive media is blaming him personally for not being true to the socialist philosophy he promotes. This isn't my fight, but scrolling through comments that lambasted a publication I know my friend worked tirelessly to build, and other comments that aggressively demeaned him personally, I felt a strong schoolyard inclination to rise to the defense of someone who I know to be pure of heart, even if I think the ideas he promoted in his magazine would be detrimental to society. He's one of us, meaning a person I closely associate with the concept of home, my thoughts kept telling me as I read attack after attack. So even if he screwed up by his own admission, critics don't know what they're talking about when they say he has done wrong. My mind shuts off to the possibility of using this as a learning experience and instead makes it a contentious issue in which clear battle lines are drawn. At Tuesday's Board of County Commissions meeting, the Citrus County United Way will give an update of how it has spent CARE funds. It will likely not go well. The BOCC voted to give $450,000 in $150,000 installments to the United Way in December of 2020 for the purpose of distributing funds to those impacted by COVID-19. The Chronicle advocated for the plan, saying it would be cheaper than what the county was doing. The county's overhead at the time was a few tenths of 1%, while the contract allowed United Way up to 10% administration costs. If you consider the United Way's established network of contacts with people who could use the funds most, who would also presumably be the people most discouraged by the bureaucratic process of applying through the county, then maybe the 10% overhead cost was justified as cheaper than the advertising and educating the county would have to do to get to this demographic. Maybe. Even with this network and the help of a designated paid employee, the United Way will report it has distributed less than half the allocated funds. The report will also likely state that $50,000 of it, the less than $225,000 it has spent, was a fund transfer to the Education Foundation, who was doing the same services. It will be hard to call the program a success. There will be those tempted to defend the United Way, even if by the organization's own admission the program was created to meet an overstated need, because those who started and supported the United Way for decades see it as an ingrained concept of home, just as I do with my friendship with Nathan. The defense is justified for this reason. However, the defense won't be necessary, because in reality, no one is attacking them. There are no battle lines. Criticism isn't to point blame at anyone, the United Way or the BOCC, nor is it to discount the possibility that some people who desperately needed help found it in the program. We can learn something from this, though, if we can keep personal biases toward people or the organizations they represent from clouding objective takeaways from these programs. The Chamber was also asked to present, but is not on this meeting's agenda. Future columns will explain how these programs were rushed money giveaways, and the results will inevitably show why we should learn from a more principled approach in the future.